over again at the Kassam. Here's Erica Barnes.
No, you haven't misheard. It's Mooney, not Rooney for Oxford. So the transfer from Swindon to bitter rivals United makes just as sensational headlines in these parts. Is this the cardinal sin, coming from Swindon to Oxford?
Well, I'm sure the supporters of Swindon might see it that way. Hopefully the Oxford fans won't. But I've just come here to play football and, hopefully bring a few goals and a little bit of experience and win the Oxford fans over.
Tommy Mooney lit up town when he moved to Swindon last season. His goals, the main reason for their success in reaching the playoffs, though finally failing to win promotion. But Mooney wanted to leave the county ground, and Oxford lured him away.
I think a great reception. I think if they put the rivalry aside to 1 minute and they look at the quality of player that we've acquired, I'm sure they'll be delighted. I think, he's got to do it. He's got to play well and score his goals and work hard, but he'll do that anyway, Tommy. That doesn't worry me. And I'm sure he'll soon become a hero of the Oxford fans.
Like Joey Beecham, who played for Oxford, Swindon and Oxford again. But Mooney is looking forward, not back. He's ready to line up with a new team, with new players, with new hope. More goals like these will please, well, depending on which end of the A420 you are.
Only one player had switched from town to United, but that changed this morning. Tommy Mooney, Swindon's Player of the Year, signed a contract at the Kassam Stadium, insisting that he didn't make the move despite his old club. Here's Jerome Sale.
Watch carefully because this is something you just don't see very often. Tommy Mooney has become only the second player in 35 years to leave Swindon and join arch rivals Oxford United. Town knew last week they'd lost Mooney, but they only knew today where they lost him to.
A bit disappointing he's gone to Oxford. I thought he's better than playing in third division.
They all have to move on, don't they?
They're professional sportsmen these days. They go where the money is.
Shouldn't have done that. It's a big mistake for his career.
I don't expect them to forgive me, but I hope they'll understand that it's my job and I've just moved job. That's all it is.
Graham Ricks has only been in charge at Oxford for 4 months, but he had an inkling of the fuss he would cause by making a signing from Swindon.
I know there is great rivalry between them, but I'm sure Oxford fans will be delighted. To get one up on Swindon, I suppose, but also on the quality of the lad who's come in. He's a good player, goal scorer, winner, experienced, he's a leader, and we need that.
Forget the transfer talk surrounding Wayne Rooney and Manchester United. Here, Tommy Mooney to Oxford United is causing the real stir. Jerome Sale, BBC South Today.
Mourinho's first game in charge of Chelsea. Joe Cole, who'd impressed his boss by returning early for pre-season training, was pretty soon up to his old tricks as the visitors got into their stride. New signing Mattea Kezman wasn't having things all his own way, but did produce Chelsea's best first-half chance. A shot rattling the crossbar. Good work from Joe Cole once again, then Jeremy. If Ida Johnson a great chance, he should really have hit the target from there. Then, against the run of play, a poor header allowed Tommy Mooney to score for Oxford after 42 minutes. A shot too powerful for Carlo Cudicini. Early in the second half, Kezman again hit the woodwork, this time of post as Chelsea went in search of an equaliser, which came eventually in the 67th minute. Kezman with the first of what he and his manager hope will be many goals for his new club. And the new boy might have wrapped things up in the dying seconds, but on balance, a draw was probably a fair result. Phil Edwards, Sky News.
I think it was a good training session. I think it's not easy to play football when you are tired, and the players were already tired when the match started, because they had very strong 15 days, so it didn't surprise me that they were not sharp. And in terms of a team, of course, this is even less than half of a team. But they tried hard, and I think the opponent also gave us a competitive match because they are with, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks more of training sessions than us, so they are in a better physical condition. And because of the number of changes that Ricks did, he was always changing players, so the pace of the play was always cut it, and always with fresh players, so it becomes even more difficult. But I took some good information about my players, and this was important for them, because to train always in between them is always different than train against another team, against players that they don't know well.
It was the first time we saw Alexei Smertin in a Chelsea shirt, and he looked very much at home.
Yes, I think he did well, Kazman also, but I have to say that Jeremy, for me, his attitude was great, because he has only 4 days of training. So I think with the possibilities they have at the moment, I think they did okay, and I think the result is not important at this moment. The important thing is that they really worked, and work and minutes of play is the most important thing they can get now.
In Cheltenham Town dished out a dose of the blues to Premiership opposition in their pre-season friendlies. Cheltenham held off Birmingham City, and Oxford gave Chelsea a run for their money. Nicola Jones has the action.
It was the millionaires versus the penniless. New Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho took the limelight on his first match. While he takes his pick of the best players in Europe, United manager Graham Ricks hasn't spent a penny on transfers. Even without their Euro 2004 stars, Chelsea were worth more than 50 million, Oxford about 500,000. But who'd trade his top catch of the summer? The free transfer of former Swindon striker Tommy Mooney, his first for United. Oxford can be pleased with their performance. Chelsea did get the equaliser though. Matej Kezman made it a draw, but Ricks' new team impressed and is starting to take shape.
Day blank. They looked like ending the Boston stranglehold on the game at York Street when they were awarded a penalty, but new captain Lee Bradbury saw his shot well saved. United though were coasting to a point, but defender John Ashton coasted a little too much. He allowed Lee Thompson to give his side their first ever win over Oxford. Jerome Sale, BBC South Today.
I think we have the team to get into automatic promotion.
I hope this season they're going to do a lot better.
Well, hopefully they'll get automatic promotion. I just think with the squad they've got.
They'll be in the top 3 this year, going for promotion, good side this year, so hopefully they'll be going up.
Have faith. That's the gospel according to the fans of Oxford United and Mansfield Town. Last season, their heroes were shoulder to shoulder in the promotion race. United blew it big time, finishing 9th, while Town suffered the agony of losing the playoff final on a penalty shootout.
The fans, probably the latter end of last year, the fans came on board, and likewise, again, I know that the supporters will stick with us.
And they're all out there saying this is going to be the year, we're going up this year.
Yeah, it's one of those, again, we will be involved at the end.
Tell us what life is like for Graham Ricks in League 2 with Oxford.
It's hard. It's enjoyable. I mean, great bunch of lads, and they're working really hard for me, but it is hard, no doubt about it, but I'm enjoying it.
And Oxford manager Graham Ricks hopes 12 summer signings, a new team, will give United something to shout about this season. It all went their way in the first half, with birthday boy Tommy Mooney celebrating his big day with the first goal of the season. Mansfield, losers at home on Saturday, took time to settle, never really hit the mark. But things certainly hotted up under the second half lights. Oxford's Leo Roger got the red card. And Town got the chance to go all out for goal against 10 men. The equaliser just wasn't there, no matter how hard they tried and how easy the chances fell. A red card for Lee Williamson made it 10-all on players on the pitch. But on the whistle, it was 1-0 to Oxford and a standing ovation.
I thought the lads showed great spirit, togetherness and determination. Not always pretty, but you know, they're a good side, Mansfield. And playing with 10 men for so long was difficult, but it showed great togetherness and spirit and chuff for them all.
That was the one that got away, wasn't it?
I think we had a spell when we got back into the game. We had them on the ropes, and we let them off the hook.
Final word to the birthday boy. 33 candles on his cake, one winner in the net.
Yeah, it's nice. First home game, first goal of the season. That really counts. So I'm delighted.
And have you set yourself a target for this season?
I have, and I'll keep it to myself like every striker will.
Defensive errors have no excuses. Oxford United felt the rage of manager Graham Rix at half-time following this goal for visitors Scunthorpe. Tommy Mooney, though, was certainly listening, his second for the week. Mooney wants 50 goals from the forwards, and he's certainly chipping in with his share. Meanwhile, United at Leyton Orient, 0-0 at Brisbane Road. The crossbar saw most of the action. Manager Graham Rix was at least pleased to get a point. Perhaps the teams were distracted by the ground's two missing sides. Chris Hackett got his head down, but there was no joy for the U's.
Skipper Lee Bradbury scored his very first goal for the club. And that was followed up by number 3 of the season from Tommy Mooney. Luck was running their way too. Shrewsbury won a penalty late on. And then blew the chance for a comeback. Good weekend for penalties. At Meadow Lane yesterday, the Yellows squeezed home 1-0 against Notts County. Bradbury showing how penalties should be taken. 6 points out of 6 takes United up to 6th in the table.
Chelsea lied their lowly status with some fine football played at breathtaking pace. Oxford got their noses in front when captain for the night Leo Roger lunged forward to head the opener. Bas Savage was the next to lunge forward, winning a penalty for Wickham. Oxford's management were more unhappy with their defender John Ashton than with the referee's decision. Nathan Tyson converted the spot kick right on half-time, his 4th goal of the season. Wickham ended the night with 10 men after Gary Silk was shown a second yellow card for encroaching on a free kick, but his team ended the night with a point. Wickham a 3rd, Oxford 6th after the weekend's games. The Milton Keynes...
He's charged it. We're just standing there. Maybe we should have used another charger to go in there and do that job for him, because after giving the foul away, then you're always likely, if you respond again, the referee remembers it, doesn't he?
In the end, yeah, happy with the point. It's not an easy place to come to. I'm missing several players. I'll settle for a point.
So a share of the spoils for this pair of former teammates turned rival League Two managers. And Wickham's best ever start to a season. Dan Rowan, Sky Sports.
But even with Tommy Mooney's best efforts, they still couldn't beat Rushton and Diamond. Just when United thought they'd got a result, Steve Basham's goal was disallowed. Mooney punished for a foul on the keeper. 0-0 draw means United drop out of the playoff spots.
Appearances plus a share of any future transfers, but they're disappointed with the outcome, they say.
We genuinely thought he was worth double that, and that's the figure we'd requested. We put in what we thought was a realistic figure, because there's no point, we felt, of putting in a stupid figure, and we could back that up with examples of other players of similar age that had moved.
Who now go up to 2nd. Latvian international Andrej Stolča showed some neat control in the box to open the scoring via a deflection. The first goal of the season for the Latvian. Then deja vu. Stolča's again keeping a cool head to double Yeovil's advantage. Graham Rix's side wilting under the strain. The Yeovil onslaught continued, Phil Jevons unleashing a belter from the edge of the box. Jevons' 4th goal of the season. It was starting to look embarrassing. Jevons again heading into an empty net after a right-wing cross. 5,500 at Hewish Park enjoying themselves hugely. Oxford briefly rallied, and after a skirmish in the box, Jamie hand on hand for a consolation effort. But Oxford were already a beaten side, and they knew it. Back came Yeovil with another onslaught on goal, and this cracker from Kevin Gould was the pick of the day. One of those days when everything was going in for Gary Johnson's side. With 11 minutes left, the final indignity for demoralised Oxford. Their defence in absolute tatters as Phil Jevons completed a second-half hat-trick. His tally jumped up to 7 as Yeovil sounded out a very clear promotion warning.
On penalties. Now, United got off to an early lead with Tom Winters, but then it was downhill all the way with 2 goals from Exeter. Only Jamie Hand's equaliser in the final seconds won Oxford extra time, but 3 penalty misses and they were out.